Good afternoon, my fellow veterans. I am retired Chief Warrant Officer 5, Stephen Boyd, and I'm coming to you today from U.S. Army Garrison, Italy, Vicenza, where I work as the Safety and Occupational Health Specialist for Southern European Task Force Africa. But I'll get back to that in a minute. First, I'd like to say how much of an honor and a privilege it is that I've been asked to speak to you today. There's nothing closer to my heart than veterans, being one myself, of course. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on me. I'm originally from Boston. I grew up in Dorchester. And in 1984, I was a down-on-my-luck college student looking for a way to pay for my education at University of Massachusetts. I bumped into a friend on the Red Line, and he told me he'd just come back from basic training. He joined the National Guard, and he'd mentioned that one of the benefits was that the National Guard paid full tuition and fees at state colleges and universities, which perked my interest. And I immediately came up with a plan because I knew everything about the world at that point. So I figured I would join the National Guard. I was going to go in there. I was going to stay just long enough to get my education paid for, and then I was going to get out. Well, 35 years later, I ended up retiring from the Mass National Guard after several tours. 2 deployments, one in Afghanistan, one in Kuwait. And then my last tour was a 5-year COADOS, active duty COADOS assignment here in Vicenza, Italy. I started out in the infantry in the Dorchester Armory on Victory Road as Private Boyd, and later became Sergeant Boyd. And then the opportunity came to go to flight school, which was a lifelong dream of mine. And I transferred to aviation and flew Hueys from 1989 to 2004, which is when I retired the first time. Then when I came out of retirement, I flew a tour in Kuwait in Blackhawks, came back from that deployment, and immediately moved over to the fixed wing, the airplane, and I flew a tour in Afghanistan as an ISR, which is Intelligence, Security, and Reconnaissance pilot. After that, I came back, and a couple of years later, the opportunity to come to Italy and work presented itself, just something out of the blue. I met the safety director here, and he said, "Hey, how'd you like to come to Italy and work for us?" And pretty much the rest was history. I became the active duty ground and aviation safety officer for Southern European Task Force. And what this enabled me to do was to not only work and live in Italy, which is, very nice fringe benefit, but I actually traveled extensively across the continent of Africa, performing aviation and ground safety at numerous multilateral, bilateral training events with our African partners. I've been to 10 different African countries, many of them multiple times. I'm actually leaving in about 12 hours to go to Uganda to work with with our Ugandan partners. So it's been an amazing ride. Coming from a kid coming from Franklin Field Projects in Dorchester to being an aviator, master aviator, and a consultant to several African partner nations. It's been quite the journey. But the fact that this kid from the projects in Dorchester can make it all the way to Italy just shows you that your potential is endless. And what I mean by that is you have to, number one, never count yourself out of what the opportunities are that are in front of you. And you have to advocate for yourself. Those are the 2 of the biggest things that got me to where I am today. I have returned here as a civilian. I retired last May. At the time, I retired as the longest tenured African-American aviator in the history of Massachusetts, and I was also the first African-American to attain the rank of CW5. And again, a lot of that came from watching for the opportunities and advocating for myself. Transitioning from the military into the civilian world, I was here at the end of my military assignment and my active duty tour. I was able to leverage all of my experience from the military and all the credentialing that I received and transfer that into the civilian aspect of safety right here in Italy. So while I was still on active duty at the end of my tour, an opportunity presented itself in the form of the safety and occupational health specialist, and I applied. And with that, I was able to return to Italy now with another 3-year hitch to work here and continue to travel to the African continent. It's been a dream come true. My experience in the military is, without a doubt, made an impact on me and my entire family, my children, that is priceless. The fact that I'm able to come back here, it was due to a lot of things that like I said, I leveraged several opportunities that came available in the military. For those of you who've retired in recent years, you may have taken advantage of or been required to complete the Soldier for Life Transition Assistance training, SFL TAP. If you did, I would strongly encourage you to keep track of those resources and reach back and use them. They played a critical role in my being able to transition my military career into a civilian career, basically doing the same job. So again, you never turn away from an opportunity. Always advocate for yourself. Use the resources between the Veterans Administration and programs like SFL TAP. There's just so many resources out there for you that I would strongly encourage you to take advantage of. For instance, applying for a federal job, a resume is a lot different from what you would use for a civilian job. SFL TAP and probably even the Boston VA, they can assist you with that. So in closing, I just want to say, again, thank you. Thank all of you for your service. And I just hope that you have your future is wide open as a result of the resources that you're able to take advantage of as a veteran. Again, thank you and have a great day.